strong and firm. Let's all rise up for Tamil Thailand.
beloved principal, directors and heads of all departments, teaching and non-teaching faculty members, student secretaries, all participants and student friends. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful gathering. The essence of education lies in translating opportunities into experience of empowerment, in transcending what is to what can do, and transforming limitations into limitless learning. On behalf of Dr. NGP Institute of Technology and organizers of Henosis 2019 and the intercollegiate competitions, I consider it a unique privilege given to me to extend a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries present here. Dr. NGP Institute of Technology strives to nurture technocrats who can keep steps with changes taking place around them. Our institution constantly works towards the upgradation of teaching quality and technical faculties to ensure a pride of place for it among the best institutions in the country. The various associations of our institution, namely B-Medians of the Department of BME, Illuminators of the Department of CSE, Acadians of Civil, Technoblasts of ECE, Electros of Department of EEE, GMAT of IT, Methodlaws of Mechanical, Equilibrium of MBA, and Sagacious of Science and Humanities have all joined hands to present this spectacular event called Henosis 2019. Henosis has grown by leaps and bounds all through these years, is still growing in terms of popularity among building engineers. With the grace of Almighty, this would soon become an event to be recalled with much joy in the years to come. I am glad to welcome, we bring you to this morning filled with the desires, hopes, dreams and wishes. My humble pronouns to our respected chief guest, Sri B.R. Anand, co-founder and CSO Info Process India Private Limited, Bengaluru, who has taken time for this busy schedule to spend time with us. Welcome to your institution, sir. With great reverence and respect, I extend my heartiest welcome to Dr. Nanaji Palliswamy, Honorable Chairman of Goa Medical Center and Hospital. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she is lost without fear of the future. Yes, I feel proud to welcome Dr. Kavamani D. Palliswamy, Secretary, Dr. NGP Institute of Technology, for having presided over the occasion and showering your blessings and support. Our Madam Secretary conferred the Lifetime Achievement Award, Henosis Women's of the Year Award, and still many awards. Welcome to you, ma'am. I welcome all the distinguished members of the management for their presence and guiding spirit. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to Dr. Oti Bhuvaneshwaran, CEO, KMCR and ET for this gracious presence. A great principal builds character, inspires dreams, encourages creativity, builds confidence, instills of love of learning, and changes our lives forever. Yeah, I warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. K. Kodkumaran, Dr. NGP Institute of Technology, who is guiding light for our inspiration behind this annual extravaganza. As a parent, he cares each and everything and everyone of our NGP family. Welcome to you, sir. I will continue welcome to the directors and heads of various departments for making their presence and support for this wonderful event. We all welcome you, ma'am. A warm welcome to our beloved faculty members of our institution who changes our lives with just a right mix of chalks and challenges. I wholeheartedly welcome all the participants and delegates from other institutions, press and media, industries and knowledge partners, alumni, parents, even coordinators and student friends who are here to make this occasion a grand success. Finally, I welcome all the student volunteers, technicians who play an important role in the success of every event. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. This day you won't forget in your life. Good morning to another present here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dibakar. I now request the organizing secretary, M. Raghunath, to welcome the chief guest with a bouquet. with a bouquet. I now request the Organizing Secretary, Mano, to welcome the Principal with a bouquet.
Thank you. It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. I now call upon the Organizing Secretary, Ms. S.K. Archana, to introduce us to the events of Henosis 2K19. Henosis 2K19, organized by Dr. NGP Institute of Technology, is an annual technical symposium that focuses on the nourishment of technical knowledge of budding engineers. Henosis is a word of Greek origin which means unity, and unity is the cord which connects the budding technocrats. Henosis, therefore, is being conducted since 2008 and has proved to be the birthplace of enthusiasm and knowledge of young professionals in engineering and technology. So here we have the departments of Biomedical, CSE, Civil, EEE, ECE, IT, Mechanical and MBA for conducting various innovative, technical and creative events. The various associations of our institution, namely B-Medicians, Electros, Technoblast, Illuminators, Archidians, GMAT, Mecledos, Equiliber and Sagacious have all joined hands to present this spectacular event called Henosis 2019. Henosis is not only a platform for competence, but it also exposes the research and innovative thinking of students. Many prize-winning projects and innovative creations of the NGP ITMs are on display as exhibits. The number of participants have been growing every year. This year, the organizers feel encouraged with a participant strength of 1,300. Considering the overwhelming response towards participation, NGP ITMs are expecting to make Henosis an internationally acclaimed event in future. The various events conducted by Biomedical Department are Paper Knockdown, Circuit Conflict, Logical Collision, Kaleidoscope, Mr. and Miss B Medicine, BioBoss and BioCarnival. The Civil Department has lined up competitions like Paper Presentation, Technical Quiz, Connection, CAD Contest, Code Cracking and Hands-on Play. The events of CSE Department are Paper Bestowal, Code Untangle, Kodachrome 3.0, Navayuva, Think Genius and FIFA or PUBG. The ECE department is conducting competitions like Presentronics, TechnoQuiz, Embedded Hackathon, Black Box, RoboSoccer, PUBG, Warzone and Pictionary. The events of EEE department are Paper Presentation, Project Display, Circuit Debugging, Quiz, Gaming, Fun Events, Treasure Hunt and Meme Challenge. The IT department competitions are Paper Presentation, Code Compare, Cyber Hack, Apps Avenger, Tech Crush, Treasure Hunt and Mr. and Miss Techies. The mechanical department events are Paper Presentation, Quiz, Mr. Mechanic, Parametric 3D Modeling, Water Rocketry, RC Simulator and Business Plan. The Color Pan competition is organized by the MBA department. Henosis engages participants in a healthy competition by partaking in all events and prove their mettle. This energy and inquisitiveness of the participants in Tech Wizards from various colleges motivate their peers and keep the legacy of Henosis intact until the next edition. I wholeheartedly thank our revered Madam Secretary for having given us this golden opportunity and for providing more than ample support as well. Once again, I welcome you all to the grand spectacle, Henosis 2K19, and thank you for making the presence felt. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana. Try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value. They say courage is grace under pressure. She is both courageous and graceful. We request our respected Madam Secretary, Dr. Thamani D. Palaniswamy, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning to everybody. On behalf of college, I welcome our chief guest, Mr. B.R. Anand. In spite of his busy schedule, he has spared many hours for us. Thank you very much for the time. He not only came, he brought two of his friends. And on behalf of the college, I welcome Mr. Vasan and Mr. Anu. And if you share with them, you get a lot of bright ideas from them. Especially Mr. Vasan is a young like you all, and he is energetic and he has a lot of thoughts. And please interact with them, and you will get a lot of ideas for your future. I welcome all the students from our college and also the outside college for participation in the Henosis. I am happy to be with you for this Henosis. Every year we keep doing, what we expect is we want more and more of the brainstorming and having rare ideas, trying to implement it in the practical way. This is the ultimate thing, and you have to learn to think in different way. The routine syllabus, the routine examination is not making you to think in the other ways. And you are also learned to live in a comfort zone. You don't have the problem on the food because your parents are giving 3 meals. You don't have to sweat for that. You have to request. It's on the plate, ready-made plate. And you don't have problem in paying the fees. And the vehicle also, it's arranged by parents. This, because of this comfort zone, you are not able to think differently. Only if you starve for food, only if you think what we can do for the next meal, maybe we have to skip, or we don't have time, we have to interact with our friends and brainstorm, and you have to pass many hours without food, you will have more and more ideas. You have to get into that culture. If you sit in the comfort zone of somebody is giving the food 3 meals in timely, and if you do not have problem in the pocket money, and if you do not have problems in the vehicles, because the bus is coming, some 2-wheelers is provided by the parents, it's very difficult to think a different way, and it's very difficult to get a new ideas. Learn to live independently. Of course, our culture, we are all living at home, but it need not be all the time listening to the TV or the families. You have to be concerned with the families, but at the same time, you have to be with your friends, brainstorming the recent events, what happened. I don't know how many of you followed the budget yesterday. It's part of your life. If you haven't listened to the budget, if you haven't read about the budget, if you are not understanding what it is, then you are not within the society. You have to look into that because you may be in the engineering, but that is concerned with your practical life. The same thing with your friends. If you keep talking about the movie, what is there, it's okay if you talk about the movies, the act of the movie, the color combination, the sound. If you discuss about this, it's a different discussion. But if you are talking about the story, the person, and getting into deep into the personal life, you are not gaining anything. I see many of you are still enjoying the life of going to the movie and talking about the stories again and again, like a childhood. It's all gone with the high school. You are beyond this high school, you are an individual person, you can vote yourself, you have a license, right? happening? Why not the other way? What, why? All these questions should come for everything. Why this bottle is shaped like this? Is it fitting into the shelf, or is it to the machine comfort, or is it practically to handle it, to have it in the hand? Why did they shape like this? Why can't the shape they make it square? Why can't it be so oval? What is the difficult? Why you are not thinking like that? You should start thinking everything like that. Don't accept the fact as it is and take it there. Maybe for your exam, you accept the fact in the syllabus and take it and produce it. But for your life, with the changing world, what the world expects you is creativity. If you start thinking in the childhood different way, it won't happen all of a sudden when you grow up. After your graduation, if you go and sit in one corner and say that creativity, let's come to creativity, let's think differently, it won't come. For creativity also you need lot of exposure, so lot of interaction. So you have to see lot of industries, what they are doing, because the industry needs are so different than what is in your syllabus in these colleges. That's why the industry people, when they are graduating and they are coming for placement, you had a tough time. They expect good communication, they expect good writing, expressing the language, the words. Everything is maybe minor for you, but that is the important thing that carries 50% of your mark. The way you walk, the way you dress is very, very important. After when you get into the any industry, you can change according to the industry expectation, what the culture of the industry. Each industry has a different culture. So you should be able to adapt yourself to change according to the industry, the way you think, the way you act also according to the chemistry of that industry. So you should be willing to change yourself. You should be flexible. So from now onwards, you should be flexible in everything, in your act, in your dressing, in your way you talk. If suppose your company send you to the France, your accent may be different. So the week before you are going to the France, you may have to get into the slang, learning methods, trying to understand, because when you go there and talk, nobody will understand you. So it will get a negative report. If you go to British, its accent is so different. So you may have to learn. So learning different language is also important, especially for the Germany and Japan. If you talk the language, they like it. So you have to put extra effort in learning during your college days. College days are the heavenly days. Nobody bothers you. You are an independent. You can do anything you want. So you have to spend a lot of time in improving your language, improving your act, the way you walk, the way you dress, and the different languages, and on top of it, the technical knowledge, what the industry expects. There is a vast difference between the syllabus of Anna University and the industry expectation. You have to fill in the gap. Nobody will fill in the gap. The people who are able to change themselves, the people who are able to fill in the gap and get them ready for the industry, they are able to be placed in the industry. They are able to go high in the ladder and they are able to be successful. So prepare your mind for changing method of living as per the industry needs, as per the changing world. You are living in the comfort zone. Please get out of your comfort zone. And think of yourself as the independent person. What I will do the day after the graduation, what I will do 2 years after graduation, what I will do 5 years after graduation, 10 years after graduation. Take a diary and write it yourself. You don't have to show it to anybody. And keep looking at this. And after graduation, look at it. After 2 years of graduation, look at it. What you think, what you have written, what you are doing. So that is a stimulating force for yourself. Believe in yourself, have a good confidence, and you will be successful if you believe in yourself. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Good luck to everybody in the competition. I want everybody to go happily getting something for yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. We now request our principal, Dr. K. Porgubran, to felicitate the gathering. Please, sir.
Most respected and beloved Madam Secretary, distinguished Chief Guest, Sri B.R. Anand, co-founder, energy evangelist and director of Eco Process Bangalore. Special invitees, Mr. Anu, former country head, Cisco, Mr. Nelson Vasant, CEO Fan Technology, Bangalore, directors, HODs, faculty members, participants from various institutions, my dear young scientists and technocrats, good morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you. Brilliant biomedical engineers of the NGP Institute of Technology, BMedians, Royal Arcadians, civil engineers of the NGP Institute of Technology, inspiring illuminators of computer science engineers of the NGP Institute of Technology. It's yours. You have to appreciate yourself. Extraordinary electronics and communication engineers of the NGPIT, energetic electrical and electronic engineers of the NGP Institute of Technology, intelligent and inspiring GMAC IT professionals of the NGPIT, majestic mechanical engineers of the NGP. It's your day, enjoy your day. Showcase your talent and skill sets at Henosis 2K19. It's a great honor and privilege for me to participate in this prestigious event of the NGPIT Henosis 2K19, organized by all the departments of the NGPIT, Temple of Learning, Industry Powered Innovative Campus. Dear students, team members, you have done a wonderful job. Extraordinary arrangements that we have seen outside. So many innovative projects displayed, and you are going to present a paper presentation on various advanced technologies like IoT, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud and grid computing, big data and data analytics. Really, it will be an enjoyable moment for all the students of the NGPIT and other participants from various institutions in our Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu and other national level institutions. It's an important event of the NGPIT in the illustrious and brief history of the NGPIT. Again, it provides a common platform to connect together with the peer groups, industry organizations, professional societies, and other technocrats to share their views and findings of their innovations and creativity. I hope and expect the outcome and deliberations of 2K19 Henosis will open a benchmark and set up higher values in the field of science and technology. It's an opportunity for the technocrats and budding scientists like you to showcase your talent and skills. Dear students, try to develop innovations and solve a problem which is not solvable by the industry personals, and you can do wonders for the benefit of the common man. So try to establish a product with innovation and creativity which will be affordable by a common man and the society. This is the theme of the entire Henosis 2K19, to inculcate innovative thoughts and creativity among the technocrats and budding scientists like you. So with this, we congratulate all the HODs, department, association secretaries, joint secretaries, executive council members, professional societies like IEEE, ICI, CSI, IET, ACM, SAE, BMSI and others, chairman, vice chairman, joint secretaries of various professional societies of Dr. Engineering Institute of Technology, and the overall convener, Dr. V.S. Balaji, HOD Mechanical Engineering, student secretaries, joint secretaries, executive members, department associations and the organizing team, committee members, staff and students for this Henosis arrangement, commitment, dedication, hardworking, innovation, creativity. I can simply say the arrangements are very extraordinary, wonderful, with the three words: sincerity, dedication and hardworking of Dr. NGPS. And with this few words, I pray God Almighty to serve the blessings of Henosis 2K19. In the அருமையான நிகழ்வு Henosis 2K19 வரலாறு படைக்க வேண்டும் என்று வாழ்த்தி அமர்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and then suddenly you're doing the impossible. I now request all the dignitaries to take part in the proceeding of release of souvenirs. Software is a great combination between artistry and engineering. In today's mechanized world, everything, including our minds, hearts, and data, should be updated. I now request our respected Madam Secretary, Dr. Swami, to release the souvenirs. I now request our respected Madam Secretary, Dr. Swami, to release the souvenirs and present the first copy to our esteemed chief guest, Shri B.R. Anand.
best of how things work out. I now call upon the Organizing Secretary, Mr. S. Sridhar, to introduce the Chief Guest.
A very good morning to one and all present here. As much as it gives me pleasure to introduce the Chief Guest in such an august gathering of young minds, it gives me a great honor as well to introduce Sri B.R. Anand, co-founder and CSO Eco Process India Private Limited. He is an accomplished, result-oriented executive with demonstrated success in the multidisciplinary industry. He is an avid traveler, loves to play all sports, and he has been running marathons across the major cities. Mr. Anand has a Master's in General Management from IIM Bangalore. He holds a Bachelor of Business Management degree specializing in marketing and sales. He also has a postgraduate diploma in marketing and advertising. Currently, he is the co-founder and CSO Eco Process India Private Limited, Bangalore. Eco Process is an intuitive technology company which delivers integrated energy efficiency and sustainability in all sectors. As a startup evangelist with 18 years of diverse and progressive experience, he specializes in developing business and transformation strategies and has worked with the senior leadership of a number of global and local organizations in helping them transform their business in preparation for the future. Recently, he was honored with the citation of 100 top retail minds of India from Asia Retail Congress. His last corporate assignment was a business lead and vice president for Apollo's newly formed joint venture with Lycos Internet under the name Lycos Net Commerce Limited. Previously, he was part of the first team that established Payback. He was instrumental in launching the first coalition loyalty program across India. Prior to Telegramma, he was part of the senior management team which established Pinpoint's unique reward, which was eventually taken over by MasterCard. It is our pleasure and we are blessed to have you with us today, sir. On behalf of everyone at Dr. NGPIT, I welcome you with all my heart. Thank you.
Sir, kindly take over the session.
I should thank you. Thanks for the organization of the NGP Institute for hosting such a wonderful event. It's actually an energy center, I would see here. Before I would like to start something which I want to convey you all, I just want to tell you one thing, that today there are two things which actually people are not trying to understand or trying to ignore. Everything that we share, probably we feel it's a loss, right? We share time, it's something lost for us, right? But one thing that which will never ever is a loss is a sharing knowledge, right? We're getting knowledge. You share knowledge to others, probably you only get enriched. A similar way, the knowledge exchange is what is actually a creator of all kind of innovation or a creator of any kind of a solution for any problem, right? On that note, I would say our distinguished HODs, our secretary, our principal of the organization are the catalyst of this knowledge center, right? So, thank you. I think you guys like wonderful job. So let me begin. I mean, today in the world, the developing countries and the developed countries, right, is always been a competition, right? Now, you know what's the difference between developed countries and developing countries? Can anybody raise your hands? What's the difference between developed countries and developing countries? And what is the key area that developed countries are ahead of developing countries?
Construction.
Very close. Very close. Anybody else? Sorry? GDP? From where? How? Okay. In the interest of time. Okay. Now if you look at the most developed countries, focus not because of IT, not because of certain other aspects, sports or anything. It's mainly focused on manufacturing. If you look at all the developed countries, it's grown because of the manufacturing ability. Right? China is taken over the entire other part of the globe is because of the manufacturing ability. Now in India, we have a huge opportunity to become the most developed countries in the next 5 to 10 years because of the manufacturing ability. Right? Today, we all talk about Industry 4.0, right? The new buzzword, what we are talking about is Industry 4.0. Now, in India, we are not even Industry 2.0, right? Our majority of the MSMEs, micro, small enterprises, medium enterprises, are not been able to thrive the way other developed countries have been able to, right? So here is an opportunity for all the people in the ecosystem to become a developed country, that we all are the key catalyst. Now how are we going to enable that? Now always we've been in the very competitive world today, right? C is always meant for competition. Now C is not at all for competition. C is more for collaboration, right? You have to collaborate from every part of the ecosystem, right? Now if you do not collaborate, you will not be able to accelerate. Now beginning to collaborate is from the institution. Now in the institution, unless until we don't think that we together can collaborate our minds and excel, we will not be able to be ready for the challenges in the industry. Like our principal sir mentioned, or our ma'am mentioned just a while back, that you guys are the catalyst for the India's growth or the world. Unless until you don't change, rest of the things will not be able to change. So today, you believe it or not, we have in industry 10 million jobs which is waiting, but not even 10% are fit to get that job. Do you agree that? Right? It's because of why? So the simple fact is that we are not here to understand and deliver what is required. We try to just follow with some success and try to be them. Now every individual can actually contribute and deliver multiple things. Now for Indian scenario, like 80% is the micro and small medium enterprises. Now every engineer can actually build a company into a different level. Now most of the time that we always finish our graduation for two aspects, right? One, to get a good job, and or to go overseas. These are the two dreams generally that we carry during our institution. Do you agree with me? But if you think to become an entrepreneur, you will actually can deliver much beyond your expectation. You can actually become a leader, a true leader, instead of a follower, that it can create a wonderful ecosystem. Now, there are multiple ways that today our ecosystem is getting built. Like there are industries which is coming forward. There are a lot of innovation is happening. There is a lot of government bodies who are helping to build young entrepreneurs, innovators, and there is an institution who is actually creating entrepreneurs within the system. Now it is up to you how you are going to take that opportunity and develop yourself. All that you have to do is to become a leader than a follower. I only insist you all, right? Please open up your mind to explore yourself. Be it you fail 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. Because today of the startup ecosystem in the country, failures has been given a more weightage than a person who has got 99% or 99.99 percentile. Your mark sheet is only for that particular time. What you have excelled during the institutional time is what makes you an exceptional candidate. So I would request you all that you take up the challenges. Do not shy away from the challenges. You challenge your mind, you challenge your friends, you challenge your co-candidates, you challenge your professors, challenge your organization, institution. Then only you will become a better leader. So we have multiple challenges today in the country, right? One is a global phenomenon like energy. Earlier it is available and it was cheap. Today it is no more available, it is expensive, right? The other side, there are multiple social economical issues that which we are all facing, because our infrastructure is another big area of concern to develop ourselves. So now there are so many entrepreneurs or innovators who are actually trying to bring innovation in this area and help not only for themselves, help entire country or including even the global economy. Right? Certain issues like water, certain issue of carbon footprint, there are a lot of innovation which every country, every company is actually trying to get solution. So those days is gone when most of the corporates used to always feel insecure to exchange ideas within the external people, right? But today, same companies are formed an accelerator. They coming towards the young minds, say that here is my problem, can you solve for me? I can actually help you to incubate you, I can help you to build your idea to make it to the next level, or I can even acquire you as a big mind. You know that today the youngest minds are actually become entrepreneurs without even having a schooling completion. At the age of 8 years, they become a CEOs. At the age of 20 years, they become an exit of a company. Right? You know what is exit of company, right? They formed a company, they formed the people, they built a team, and they built an idea, built a solution, and they've sold the ideas to the large corporates. And this is something like which will never ever had an opportunity in the past. So today, we do not have just only a few companies that want to come and acquire you. No. You just have to step out from your comfort zone. You just have to step out this entire ecosystem of followers. You have to just be yourself and create an ecosystem around you. So you are the developer. You have to develop the ecosystem. You are the epicenter for everything. If you are happy, you will be happy. If you are not happy, it's up to you, right? To be happy. So, on this note, I would tell you that so we have a huge opportunity in the country. It's a huge opportunity around us. Just grab this opportunity and try do anything that is possible. Fail, no problem. There are multiple opportunities and it's been rewarded even if you fail. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request our Madam Secretary, Dr. Appanidi Palliswamy, to present the chief guest with a memento. Thank you, ma'am. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. I now call upon the Organizing Secretary, Mr. S. Dayanandan, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Happiness in your heart is directly proportional to the quality of thoughts in your mind. A warm and graceful morning to all everyone. First of all, I thank the Supreme Being for giving us this wonderful day. It's my pleasure and privilege to present vote of thanks on behalf of the students who are gathered here. I am very glad to thank our most revered chairman, Dr. W.K. Pottumaran, and the directors, HODs of various departments, faculty members, and my most beloved student friends, and one and all gathered here. On behalf of Dr. NGP Institute of Technology and the entire fraternity of the institution, I extend a very hearty note of thanks to the chief guest, Sri B.R. Anand, co-founder EcoPros India Private Limited, Bangalore, who spared his time for us from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. I also elevate my hearty thanks to the people who have been the backbone of the function, our staff coordinators, student secretaries, and our technical team. We thank you for being with us this morning. It's really been a great pleasure. Thank you everyone who involved in this program. I also thank our industrial partners for assisting the students of Dr. NGP IT and our knowledge partners for enriching our minds. And I would like to thank this opportunity for media partners for connecting us to the rest of the world. All the best to all the participants. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dayananda. May the sun in his course visit no land more free, more happy, more lovely than this, our own country. Let us all rise up for the national anthem.